There's a moment in life that hits you so quietly, you almost miss it. No noise, no warning, just a sudden realization that everything you've been telling yourself was a lie. Not a lie you told others, but a lie you told yourself to stay comfortable. And it usually happens at night, when everything is silent, when there's no distraction left, and you're left alone with your thoughts. You stare at the ceiling, and a question creeps in. What am I actually doing with my life? And for a second, you don't have an answer. Because deep down, you know something isn't right. You've had ideas, big ones, powerful ones, ideas that could have changed your life, maybe even your family's future. But those ideas are still in your head, untouched, unused, sitting there, slowly fading away. And the scary part is, you got used to it. You got comfortable with delaying your own potential. You started believing that tomorrow is always going to be there. But what if it's not? What if the life you keep postponing never actually starts? Right now, someone else is waking up earlier than you. Someone else is putting in the work you've been avoiding. Someone else is taking action on an idea that looks just like yours. Not because they're smarter, not because they're more talented, but because they decided to move while you decided to wait. And if you're listening to this right now, it means something inside you is not okay with that anymore. It means a part of you is ready to break out of that cycle. So before we go any further, make sure you subscribe, because this isn't just motivation, this is a wake-up call. And if you let it, it can change everything. Let me take you into a story, not about someone else, but about you. There was a version of you that once believed you could do anything. Remember that? Before the doubts, before the excuses, before the comfort zone got too comfortable. You had energy, you had hunger, you had fire. But somewhere along the way, life happened. Failures happened. People doubted you. Maybe you doubted yourself, and slowly, you stopped trying as hard. You started negotiating with your goals. You told yourself, I'll start next week. Then next week turned into next month. Then next month turned into next year. And now, here you are, still thinking, still planning, still waiting. But here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Ideas don't change your life. Execution does. You can have the greatest idea in the world, but if you don't act on it, it's worthless, completely worthless, because the world doesn't reward intention. It rewards action. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'm going to do it? How many times have you felt that burst of motivation, only to lose it the next day? That's not a motivation problem. That's a discipline problem, because motivation comes and goes. But discipline stays. Discipline is waking up when you don't feel like it. Discipline is working when you're tired. Discipline is showing up again and again, even when there's no immediate result. And that's where most people fail. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel confident. They wait to feel motivated. But winners don't wait. They move anyway. They understand that action creates clarity, not the other way around. So they start before they're ready. They move before they're comfortable. They act before they feel confident. And that's why they win. Because while everyone else is thinking, they're doing. Now let's be real for a second. Some of you are stuck, not because life is unfair, but because you let your feelings control your actions. You don't feel like working, so you don't. You don't feel like waking up early, so you sleep in. You don't feel like pushing yourself, so you stay where it's easy. But ask yourself this. Where have your feelings gotten you so far? Because at the end of your feelings, there is nothing. No progress, no growth, no success. But at the end of discipline, there's a completely different life waiting for you. And here's the part most people don't understand. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. One decision at a time. Every time you choose to do what's hard instead of what's easy, you build it. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you build it. Every time you follow through on what you said you'd do, you build it. And slowly, you become someone different, someone who doesn't quit, someone who doesn't make excuses, someone who gets things done. Imagine that version of you for a second, the one who actually finishes what they start, the one who doesn't delay, the one who executes. That version of you already exists, but it's waiting on your actions to bring it to life, because nothing changes until you do. And right now, you're at a crossroads. You can go back to your old habits, back to delaying, back to waiting, back to comfort. Or you can decide that today is the day everything changes. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because tomorrow is a lie we tell ourselves to stay comfortable. Tomorrow is where dreams go to die. If you want a different life, you have to start making different decisions right now. Start small if you have to, but start. Take that first step. Make that call. Open that book. Begin that project. Do something, because action, even imperfect action, is always better than perfect inaction. And here's something powerful. Once you start, momentum takes over. At first, it's hard. At first, you'll resist it. At first, your mind will try to pull you back into comfort. But if you push through that, if you keep going, something shifts. You start to feel stronger. You start to feel in control. You start to realize you're capable of more than you thought. And that's when everything changes. Because confidence doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. Now let's talk about pressure. Most people run from it. They avoid it. They fear it. But pressure is where growth happens. Pressure is what forces you to adapt. Pressure is what pushes you beyond your limits. Think about it. When your back is against the wall, when there's no other option, that's when you give your best. That's when you find a way. That's when you become dangerous. So instead of running from pressure, use it. Let it drive you. Let it sharpen you. Because the strongest version of you is built in the hardest moments. And if you can learn to operate under pressure, if you can learn to stay consistent when things aren't easy, you become unstoppable. Now here's something else you need to hear. Nobody is coming to save you. No perfect opportunity, no magical moment, no sudden breakthrough that fixes everything overnight. It's just you, your choices, your actions, your discipline. That's it. And that might sound harsh, but it's actually powerful because it means everything is in your control. You're not stuck. You're not limited. You're just one decision away from changing everything. So the question is, what are you going to do next? Are you going to keep waiting or are you going to move? Because your future is being decided by what you do today, not what you say, not what you plan, what you do. And if you're serious about changing your life, prove it, not to me, to yourself. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. Push when it's hard, show up when it's uncomfortable, finish what you start, and when you do, come back and drop a comment about what you committed to. I want to see who's actually taking action. And if this message hit you, share it with someone who needs it. Because most people are stuck in the same cycle. And sometimes all it takes is one message at the right time to wake them up. You don't have forever. Stop acting like you do. Time is moving. Life is happening. And every day you delay, you're moving further away from the life you want. But every day you act, you get closer. So choose wisely. Because at the end of the day, there are only two types of people, those who talk and those who execute, and only one of them wins. Now it's your turn. Decide who you're going to be.